So, remember how last month I said it was 6 and was actually 7? Well, this month it really is 6. So, that's coming up on my top picks for March. Keep reading. Hi, Terry Gillespie here, and welcome to Terry's Top Picks for March. And yes, last month I said I did 6 and it was actually 7. Well, this month it actually is 6, and really am trying to keep it to 4 to 5 so I could do a book a week. And it's been really hard because tell you what, Tyndale, Ravel, Bethany House, Kriegel, you're outdoing yourselves. It's making it really difficult just to pick those 5 books. So anyway, so let's get started. We'll start with the lead book. And what does the lead book mean? It doesn't mean that it's better than all of the others. It just means that I've chosen this particular author to focus on and her book. So this month it is Amanda Barrett. All right, Amanda Barrett, and it's Within These Walls of Sorrow. Now Amanda won, I think it was last year, she won her first Christie, I think. So, and she is so young. I don't know if you can see her picture, but she's just a baby, and she's writing these incredibly beautiful written books that they just dig into your soul and won't let go. So this is actually a copy she sent to me, and it was released in January. And I'm just going to jump in. It's published by Kriegel Publication. And let me read you a little bit about Amanda. Amanda is the Christie Award-winning and ECPA best-selling author of over a dozen historical novels and novellas, including My Dearest Dietrich and The White Rose Resists. She lives in Michigan with her family, and you're going to learn even more about her in April's A2A. So here's the back cover copy. Now, of course, you probably guessed it is historical fiction, World War II, and this is Warsaw. So I don't want to give too much away. Anyway. All right, so here is the back cover copy. Probably just part of it because this is pretty in-depth. Zofia Lewandowska knows the brutal realities of war all too well. Within weeks of Germany's invasion of her Polish homeland, she lost the man she loves. As ghetto walls rise and the occupiers tighten their grip on the city of Krakow, Zofia joins pharmacist, please forgive me, I don't speak Polish, Tadeusz Pankowicz, and his staff in the heart of the Krakow ghetto as they risk their lives to aid the Jewish people trapped by Nazi oppression. So, I mean, people may ask, why another book about World War II? And I think it's important because we forget. We really do forget. Plus, they are uncovering all the time. They're uncovering new stories and new heroes that were never known during this time period. And I mean, there were 6 million Jews that were murdered Um, but there were also Polish uh, heroes. Um, there were German heroes. There were all sorts of other heroes, and we talked about last month, Dane heroes. So I think it's really important for us to be challenged to understand and to read more about these folks. Sometimes it's difficult to read, but it's always worth it. And there'll be another book I talk about in this month's top picks. Yeah, I think I'm going to read the first verse of the prelude. Okay. And this is in Zozia's point of view in Krakow, Poland. The sun shone the day I married Ryszard Lewandowski. Just so good. Just so good. So it gives you kind of a sense that something's going to be coming up, especially when it's in the prelude. Now, this book was released, as I said, in January, and it was released in paperback and ebook. And I'm surprised it's not in audio, but maybe it will be because, sorry, Amanda, maybe it will be because it takes a while for the production of an audio recording. So we'll see. But right now you can get it in paperback and ebook. All right. Next, it is The Second Time Around by Melody Carlson. Yay, Melody! I love this cover. Just makes me want to visit this town. Reminds me of the town we used to live in Pennsylvania, in Media, Pennsylvania. Okay, so this is published by Revell, and the author is Melody Carlson, and it just released last week. And let's see, let me read you a little bit. Now, probably most everybody knows about Melody because she's one of my go-to authors. So, and if you don't know about her, let me tell you a little bit about her. Melody Carlson is the award-winning author of more than 250 books with sales of more than 2.5 million, including many best-selling Christmas novellas, young adult titles, and contemporary romances. She received a Romantic Times Career Achievement Award. Her novel All Summer Long was made into a Hallmark movie, and the film version of The Happy Camper is soon to be released. That was such a cool book. It was so quirky and oh, it's just so great. Can't wait to see that as a movie. She and her husband live in Central Florida. Okay, so this is considered contemporary romance, and it came out in hardback, paperback, ebook, and audiobook. The genre, as you can probably tell, is contemporary romance. So here's the summary. When empty nester Mallory Farrell inherits a rundown tourist shop, she never expects to rediscover her love for the funky coastal Oregon town or her now widowed teenage crush. With his help, she may just be able to renovate the shabby shop and her lackluster love life. It's great. Okay. First. Okay. Here's the first sentence. Everyone moves on. Everyone except Mallory Farrell. Okay, I read the second verse. Don't hate me. Okay. So this is great. And I actually read this after I read Amanda's book, which Amanda's book is so powerful, and it, like I said, it leaves like this indelible mark on your soul. So reading Melody's book was really nice. It just gave me before I went on to the next really in-depth one, like the Metropolitan Affair. Okay, I have never read Jocelyn Green. And now I love the Art Deco. And can you guess what time period it is? It is normally Art Deco means it's going to be in the roaring 20s. So this was published by Bethany House, and it released yesterday, actually. So, and this is historical fiction. And let me read a little bit about Jocelyn. Jocelyn Green inspires faith and courage as the award-winning and best-selling author of numerous fiction and nonfiction books, including The Mark of the King, Wedded to War, and the Windy City Saga. All right. So I just love this cover. Bethany House, you guys did a fantastic job. Yours is, when you buy yours, everybody, yours is going to look better because mine's an advanced reader's copy, so it's not as polished as this. And oh, by the way, this is the first book of a series, and the series is called On Central Park. So I'm really looking forward to seeing, since now that I love reading Jocelyn Green, I'm really looking forward to seeing the subsequent books. So here's a summary. With a notorious forger preying on New York's high society, Metropolitan Museum of Art curator Lauren Westlake is just the expert needed to track down the criminal. As she and Detective Joe Caravello search for the truth, the closer they get to discovering the forger's identity, the more entangled they become in the web of deception and crime. And this is really a twisty, turny mystery novel. And usually, at least halfway through the book, I'd figured out who it is. Not this one. All right, so on to, okay. Oh, and I love when publishers, you see that? They have the little embellishments with the little Art Deco on the chapters. So this is the first sentence. I don't know. I might even read the second sentence on this one. Okay. Chapter 1, Manhattan, New York City, Wednesday, October 14th, 1925. Dead people were easy to talk to. It was the living ones that gave Lauren trouble. That's great. That's excellent. All right. And this came out, I don't know if I said, hardcover, paperback, ebook, and audiobook. I would really enjoy. This one is going to be a keeper on the shelf. All right. Okay. Looks like a bonnet and buggy book, your ordinary bonnet and buggy book. I finished this one at about 2 o'clock in the morning, and mind blown. It was so incredible. It is not your typical bonnet and buggy book. Okay, let me just say that. Now, I have heard of Leslie Gould or Gould, and but this is the first book I've read written by her, and it is called A Brighter Dawn, and it is also the first book in the Amish memories. So that'll be interesting. Now, this is classified by Bethany House, who's the publisher. It's classified as contemporary romance. However, it is a time slip or a dual timeline or a split timeline. And essentially what that means is you're going to get two stories in one book, and they're all connected. Both of them are connected. She did an incredible job because this is also a mystery, and part of the answers to the mystery are in that historical side. And then there's a mystery in the historical side that's answered in the contemporary side. So it's just really good. And I kind of pride myself on how much I know about World War II, and especially in Germany shortly before the Holocaust era, if we can say that. But she brought in information I had never heard of, which is what we were talking about earlier, that's why it's so important to read stories like this that are centered on that time period. So, okay, so Bethany House, Leslie Gould is a Christie Award-winning and #1 best-selling author of over 35 novels, including 4 Lancaster County Amish series. She holds an MFA in creative writing and enjoys church history, research, trips, and hiking in the Pacific Northwest. Okay, here's another one. She and her husband live in Portland, Oregon. Okay, this book is due to release on the 28th of this month. So, but don't let that stop you from ordering. And I can tell you that a lot of times when you order in advance, you get it before it actually releases anyway. So it's worth it. And it is really helps these authors. It kind of puts them on another level when you, with all those algorithms for popularity. So, and I highly encourage you to pre-order this one. Okay, so here's a summary. When Ivy Zimmerman's Mennonite parents are killed in a tragic accident, her way of life is upended. As she grows suspicious that her parents' death weren't an accident, she gains courage from her Amish great-grandmother's time in pre-war Germany in 1937. With the inspiration of her great-grandmother, Ivy seeks justice for her parents, her sister, and herself. It's so good. And like I said, it just kind of blew my mind. All right. So, chapter 1, the first line, Ivy Zimmerman, this is her point of view, June 11, 2014, Clackamas County, Oregon. As I reached the bottom of the staircase, I took off my right sandal and hurled it at the carved cuckoo that had just slipped out the door of the clock in the entryway of our log cabin. What did that poor cuckoo bird do to her? Well, it gives you a little sense of Ivy. She's spunky, even though she doesn't always think of herself that way. Okay, so this will come out in hardback, softcover, ebook, and audiobook. And sometimes to get a more immersive experience, it's really good to do both the audio and the ebook, or the hardback or paperback, because it just kind of captures more of the whole feel of that book. So I might do that. All right. So the next one is by Jamie Jo Wright. And this is called The Vanishing of Castle Moreau. And so this is the next book I'm going to be staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm so sure. But so I don't have quite as much information or teasers for this one, but I can tell you Jamie is incredible writer, and she kind of tricks you and makes you leave the lights on when you're reading it. So, all right. So this is by published by Bethany House. And let's see. If you aren't familiar with Jamie, here's her author bio. Jamie Jo Wright is the author of 7 novels, including Christie Award winner The House on Foster Hill and the Carroll Award winner The Reckoning at Gossamer Pond. She's also the publisher of Wizards Weekly and the ECPA best-selling author of 2 novellas. Jamie lives in Wisconsin with her cat named Foo, her husband Captain Hook, and those 2 mini adults, Peter Pan and Coco. See, she even creates mystery there. So, okay, so this is considered romantic suspense. And here is the publisher's notes. In 1865, orphan Daisy Francois takes a housemaid position and finds that the eccentric Gothic authoress inside hides a story more harrowing than those in her novels. Centuries later, Cleo Clemens uncovers an age-old mystery, and the dust of the old castle's curse threatens to rise again, this time leaving no one alive to tell its sordid tale. Okay, so this is a split time. Yay. Is it? Yes. Looks like it's a split time. Okay. So, and the one that I read last year by Jamie was also a time split. So, all right. So, first sentence. The girl. May 8th, 1801. When I was a little girl, my father would often come to my bedside after my screams awakened him in the night. Can you feel the suspense just dripping off the page? This is the next one I'm reading. And then the last one is by Natalie Waters. This is book 3. Let's see, this is book 3. Okay, yeah. This is book 3 in this Snap agency. I love the first 2 books, and I can't wait to find out more about the characters she chooses to write about in this book. So if you're on Instagram, Natalie, you have to friend Natalie, because she does the funniest little reels that I mean, she just makes me laugh. But and she puts a little bit of that humor in here, but she also amps up the suspense, which, of course, this is romantic suspense. It's by Revell, published by Revell. And if you haven't heard of Natalie, let me read a little bit about her. Natalie is the author of Lights Out and Fatal Code, as well as the Harbor Secret series. A military wife, she currently resides in Texas with her soldier husband and is a proud mom of 3. She loves traveling, spending time with her family, and connecting with readers on Instagram and Facebook. Okay, there you go. So, um, yeah, and just a special thanks to both Natalie and her husband and family for her husband's service to this country because he just recently retired. Okay. Said it was romantic suspense. Oh, this one comes out in April 11th. So you're getting a real first taste of this. The summary is when Lila Fox receives a threatening letter from a man she put in prison, she uncovers clues that lead to a deadly government conspiracy, making her a target that fellow SNAP agent Nicolas Garcia will protect at all costs. But working with Lila proves to be more dangerous than he expects for the mission and for his heart. Romantic suspense. All right, so I'm cracking it open, Natalie. All right. All right. Well, okay, this is the first sentence. How much longer? So I have to read the second sentence, don't I? Yeah? Okay. Lila Fox gritted her teeth at the voice echoing through the tiny earpiece. So the SNAP agency is a special agency that kind of helps the U.S. government with secret ops and things like that. So she was it strategic national something or another protection. Sorry, Natalie, I can't remember exactly what it is. Anyway, this will come out in hardback, paperback, and ebook, and most likely audiobook as well. And as I said, that's going to come out in April. So pre-order it. You won't regret it at all. So that's it for this month's top picks. And believe me, it was really difficult because the books that are coming out, like I said earlier, they're so incredible. And what draws me first is the title. If that title is snappy, then I'm going to look more. I'll look at the author and then I'll look at the cover. So it was hard. But next month I'm going to have some more top picks, and I think I went overboard again and did 7. So we'll see. In the meantime, don't forget to watch the A2A, the author to author interview for April, which will be sweet Amanda Barrett, and there will be a giveaway, so be sure and watch. That'll be coming out on the first Wednesday of April. So in the meantime, thanks for watching. God bless, and keep reading.